Welcome to the Rise Above show with Patricia Jo Grover, where we turn believers into achievers and we rise above our challenges. Let me take a moment to thank our sponsors, 133 Approved Funding. They say yes when the bank says no. They've been able to have businesses help keep their doors open and keep people employed. And for those people that the businesses did close, they are able to get funding for people who are trying to start new businesses. And they also provide funding for people looking for services such as I provide or what Adeel provides, for people to be able to move forward in a positive direction in their life. It's similar to a student loan. So if you'd like to have more information, you can reach out to me for that. And my guest today is Adeel Aalim. And let me tell you a little bit about Adeel. And I might have pronounced that last name wrong. So you'll be able to, you know, give me a heads up in just a minute. Let me just read you a little bit and tell you a little bit about him. Now, Adeel has 10 years of business development and consulting experience in training and in the coaching industry. Adeel now works globally with a business development consultant, primarily with the health and wellness experts who want to leave their 9-to-5 corporate jobs and build full-time coaching businesses. He helps his clients embrace what makes them real, identify premium clients based on that, and builds offers that attracts them. So welcome to the show, Adeel, and let me know how to properly pronounce your last name.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting. Happy to be here. Well, my name is Adeel, and last name is Alim. It's Aalim. Alim.
Aalim. Okay. Wonderful. And I'm
Yeah,
sorry for that
yeah.
mispronunciation. So,
That's okay.
so
That's
wonderful to
okay.
have you. Where are you coming to us from, Adeel?
Well, I'm joining you guys from Pakistan.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That's so exciting. We are we we are global. You know, the Rise Above Summit, we have speakers globally, we have people who are attendees who are global, and my empowerment network and mastermind group have members that are global also. So I am so excited to get some information from you because there are many people right now looking to potentially be able to leave their 9 to 5 jobs. Right now, this is there's a lot of people, and what they're doing is they're resigning. People are resigning from jobs because they are not happy with where they are and the direction that their life's going with those things. So it's nice to know that there are people such as yourself and myself out there to be able to help people in this process. So, Adeel, what do you think is needed the most in building relationships online if people are trying to build their online presence and businesses?
Well, although it's something that I feel is always needed whenever you're there to build a relationship, but more specifically online, two things I consider that are needed the most right now, considering the situation and everything. One, empathy, and the other is compassion. These two are the things right now, whatever services you are providing, whatever business you are in. Without these two things, we have seen actually since last year that it was really difficult to survive. And we have seen businesses, big businesses, they actually adopted these two values, and based on that, they came forward and they made a difference. And I mean, in last year, I've met hundreds of coaches and consultants. I've worked with some of them, and we've had conversations around that. And I mean, trust me, these are the two things that have gone by far. So I think these are what that needed the most. And considering that my background is in business development and mostly about building those relationships, so I think this is something that has always been the key, which helped me build connections. Like I said, I'm from Pakistan, but this new business that I started, I have 10 years of experience, but this new business that I started, it's global, and primarily I'm working with clients in the United States, Canada, and Australia. And I mean, the only reason why I was able to connect and I was able to do business and be successful was because of these two things. So even based on my personal experience, I believe that these are the two things that we need the most right now in business.
Empathy and compassion are huge. They are huge. And that is so true. So thank you for bringing up those points, Adeel. So, how different professional relationship building, um, how is it building those online compared to in person? Are you finding that that's been easier or more difficult since we've had to go through COVID?
Yeah. So, like I said, the principles remain the same. So you do need empathy and compassion, but the magnitude, or let's say the frequency, that has grown 10 times or even, I mean, multiple times. I mean, just imagine. I mean, I know that still, I mean, people used to get those cold calls on their home, people calling them, or I mean, I mean, there were a number of calls that people used to, but I mean, not many people, they were knocking on your door and selling stuff. But since last year, I mean, we've all seen that because we've shifted online and we've all been in that place, and I think most of us are really done with that. That all those cold DMs that we receive where somebody is trying to just at point blank is trying to pitch and sell anything to us. So that actually has increased, and it has made more difficult, and this ease of access to anyone who can reach out to anyone they think can be their potential customer. So I think again I come back to that this has made empathy and compassion more required, or something which is more valuable, because this is something that helps you connect better, because people are actually done with people who are just reaching out to them and just cold pitching them things. So yeah, it's not highly different when it comes to principle, but because of the magnitude and frequency, probably I would say that as compared to offline business relationships, you now need more compassion and empathy when it comes to relationships online.
Okay, okay, and that's understandable too. And like you said, the frequency, because you're able to, and it's amazing because even you're in Pakistan, but here in the States, we were able to fly here, there, whatever, but then not being able to do that, we were able to be in meetings and everything online and jump from one Zoom to the other. So without having that travel thing involved. So then we were able to cram so much more onto our plates and go from one meeting to another. So, and it just, real life happens to us no matter what. And what I always tell people is life happens to us whether we're ready for it or not. So we all know when all this work from home stuff, you have the kids, the dogs, the who knows, if depending if you live in a city. Oh, talk about the dogs right there. um that,
Yeah,
that they were on cue. That was on cue. But if you
it's
live in a,
pre-planned. It's
yeah,
pre-planned.
yeah, if you live in a big city, there are fire engines and police cars. You know what I mean? There are things that are
Yeah.
beyond our control, but that's what happens. So again, having that compassion and empathy for people going through these things at that time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've personally interacted with those that I mean last year it was not just about businesses going online. It was a tough time for people. I mean, you never knew who you are reaching out to, what they are going through in their personal life. They may have lost someone, or they are going through some tough time, even because of the restriction and things like that. And at that moment, when you just somebody who's reaching out to a person and just with an agenda to sell something, because they wanna get something out of it, so that made it actually more required that you practice those things, that we need more human to human interactions. It's not just
Right.
about money at that time.
Right. That is so true. That is so true. So Adil, there's so many businesses online now. What do you think that you can do to stand out? What suggestions do you have for people?
Well, it's not that easy or as simple as I may sound, but I think three a basic thing that I would suggest is to really know, or let's say find out what you really stand for. So if you're a business or you're a service provider, first know yourself better and know what you stand for. And then at the same time, you need to know what you are really amazing at. What are you best at? What is it that you solve the best? Or use all that to define what sort of expertise do you have. So that is number two that you need. And then third thing is be consistent about that. So in that way, I think that will eventually, because I know there's a lot of noise out there on social media, and there are so many people. I mean, every other person is in coaching, consulting, or a similar business because when they are online. So I think if you are true to yourself, you know what you do best, and you stick to it. This will really help you stand out.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I teach my clients a deal. I teach them how to find their purpose and really understand that and their why. Because as a goal achievement strategist, I help people get from where they are to where they want to be. And it's never a straight line. There's all these things that come into play, but it is
Definitely.
really, really, really important that people that are trying to brand themselves and make a name for themselves, that they be authentic and they be totally themselves. There are a lot of people out there, like you said, that in different industries. So there's a lot of people that are coaches and consultants, such as myself. So there are so many other people. So I know I am not going to attract every person, you know, and
That's
when
so
you
true.
have a certain niche, and you say, well, I only work with, or I work with this percentage of people, or these, that, females, males, age range, when you put that and you can dial that in, you know, you'll find that much easier. But definitely, one thing I would say, and I'm sure you would agree too, since you're in the social dimension here, and talking about how relationships work, is that we learn to be able to tell our stories and people connect to that. So, yeah, and I agree with you.
That's so true. I would just share that, I mean, because like I said, I'm coming from Pakistan. Now, I'm somebody who has an accent, who looks different. And I mean, even my time zone is very different. So there were a lot of personal barriers that first I needed to understand that what were they? What were my limiting beliefs? So I really wanted to first understand that what is it that I need to work on myself and identify what I really stand for and why I want to do that. And then I just wanted, I mean, at the same time, I feel that even if you have process and structure, you keep evolving the more you work. So I think it's a process where you find out what you do best when you are working, but then you stick to it and be consistent about it.
Totally. I totally agree. And that is something, don't let those limiting beliefs that you may have, you put
That's so
on
true.
yourself or allowed other people to put on you, to stand in your way. If find a way to work through those. And I teach people about building that toolbox so that when you come across this, something that's standing in your way, how to work through that. So, Adeel, what would you recommend that how people can initiate conversations online? Because some people are intimidated by that. And it depends. I think it depends on what platform you're on. If you're on Facebook as opposed to LinkedIn, those types of things. But what would you recommend?
Yeah, I understand that. And this is something that will help those, especially who think that if you're saying that I cannot just send a cold DM and pitch my stuff, what and how can I interact? And regardless of platform, this is not something that I invented. It's something that I've learned from the experts in my 10 years of experience, and it has helped me at least online the most. It's a tool. It's called Form, FORM. It's something that I use and I always help my clients use, which is an excellent point to know that how you can initiate conversation. So F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for mission. So, I mean, regardless of the platform, if you are on Facebook, if you are on LinkedIn, if you are on Instagram, people are now actively using Clubhouse. So try and see that whoever you are trying to reach out to, what is it that they are posting. If they are sharing stuff about their family, you can use the F in the family in that tool and talk about them about the family. That maybe if they've shared about, recently there was Father's Day, so people were sharing Father's Day related posts. So you can use that and probably share your experience and or find that as a common point and start a conversation in the DM about that. And trust me, I've seen, I mean, even on LinkedIn or even on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is always considered more casual, but nowadays, even on LinkedIn, I have had such conversation even on LinkedIn where it was very casual and more about the family and stuff because people are sharing about their families too. So that's one thing that you can use, and something that you can. I won't say that you will never find about your potential client, at least on Facebook or LinkedIn. People are talking about what they do. So if it's about, it's the O in the occupation, O the occupation in that tool, which is you can talk about that. If people are sharing about their work, I mean, there are so many common things that we can share about our experiences, stories we've heard, people we know. We can always find some common ground and initiate a conversation using that. R is for recreation. Things are opening up in most of the places. People are going, having sort of mini vacations, staycations, and things like that. You can use that as an opportunity to even just ask a person about, uh, even, I mean, I think the simple question could be that, hey, are restrictions over in your place? That could be a simple question, and that can initiate a conversation. It is non-threatening. It puts the guards down. And M is for mission, where people, I mean, are sharing more about their philosophies, their vision, and things like that. So you can talk about that if you relate, if you could relate to something that they've shared. Talk about how it is with you. So you don't need to use all four. I mean, one by one. You can use any one of that and start a conversation. I mostly use the family or the occupation one, which I always find an excellent point to start a conversation with, and at least, I mean, it has never failed me. So that's something, I'll repeat it. It's called form. F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for mission.
Oh, great tip and great explanation, Adeel, for people because they, whether they're trying to learn how to do this or trying to learn how to do it better. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you now, is there a framework you use to turn a cold audience into a warm audience?
Yes, definitely. I mean, people are really, I mean, when it comes to social media, it is something that really caters to our instant gratification need. So people are really, I mean, either looking for likes, comments, shares, and things like that. So that really, I mean, kind of consumes them. Which, whereas if you are using social media for business, these are not the metrics that you need to consider. It's more about, I mean, treating that if if your content or the value that you're providing is reaching to a cold audience, and how you can get them to know more about that. So one more tool that I often use, and it's something that I've learned too from the expert. It's called eIEO framework or tool, whatever you call it. So E in that is educate. So let's put whatever topic that you know. If it's something, it could be a pain point that you solve, it's your expertise, or it's something that you are passionate about. So first, I've seen this tool used in email marketing campaigns, and I've personally used it posting social media content too. And it's excellent when you are trying to post your beat up offers or your offers on your social media. You can use that and in a way where you are taking a cold audience and turning them into a warm audience by the time you're presenting your offer. So first on that topic, you
Okay, can
educate.
I
So
stop
that's
you just
E.
a second?
Yeah,
I'm trying to I have to do things to help me remember. So
yeah, yeah,
when you're saying EIEIO,
yeah.
okay. So like old MacDonald had a farm, EIEIO.
Yeah, it's similar to that. It's similar
Okay.
to that. So I mean, you can remember it like that. So E in that is education, and I is for interest. So in education, you talked about the concept, the pain point, or the thing that you're talking about, the topic. You're introducing that to your audience. Now, I'm not talking about the frequency when you're going to post the next. These come and these depends on the platform you're using. But I is about interest. Now, after you've introduced the topic, you want to raise people's curiosity or raise their interest. So you can use that by using case study regarding that, or some success story, or share facts and quotes, something like that raise people interest. Like, I mean, up till this point, you have shared to, using E and I, and you don't want, your objective is not to get their response on this. It's just that you're introducing a concept and raising interest on that, and it's more about providing them the value, and so that they know. Remember, they are the cold audience. But the third E, the second E in of this is engage. Now, this is the first time where you want some response from them and see where they are. I mean, those who must be watching this, if you are posting this on social media or even if it's your email marketing campaign. So over here, you can, if it's social media, you can ask some questions which is regarding to that topic so that people are getting back to you with a response. So you've seen posts like, what's the biggest challenge you're going through in business, or it's like, what are the goals you have for the next 6 months in 2021, things like that. Now, depending on whatever your topic is and what sort of information you need from people who are really your ideal clients, so you can develop questions. I mean, if you're using an email marketing campaign for this framework, you can do a survey at this point as well, a short survey where you see that your list, those who fill that survey, you can know now these are the ones who you can use in the funnel, and these are the ones who are more serious audience that can be. So E is engage. The second I is the invite. Now you are inviting them to whatever that thing that or topic or pain point you're talking about, and asking them to experience something, and you're inviting them to test something for free. Now it could be a 20-minute free consultation call, it could be a free workbook that you are giving them, or it could be some checklist. It's sort of, I mean, usually I would say use a lead magnet at this point that you offer as a free stuff, because at this time you have educated them enough, you've raise some curiosity, and at the same time you have engaged them, and now you are just for the first time you are seeking their response and asking them to come to you. So it's like you are sending them a free invitation. So that's I invite.
Okay.
And then
And
comes,
can I
yeah,
stop you just a second? We lost your picture
sure.
from the screen. We see the kitty cat wagging its tail.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see you, but we hear you fine, but we don't see you.
Can you see me now?
Nope, just the kitty cat wagging its tail.
No, I am using a webcam actually, but I'm not sure why it's happening.
Yeah, I hear you fine, but we don't see you.
See why
There you
it's
go. We
happening.
see your picture now, your picture, but not you on camera.
How is it now? I think
We just see the picture of you.
you,
No, there.
you can
Now
see
I
me
see
now.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you
Yeah.
can continue.
Yeah. So I think I've spoken about E. The first E was educate. The first I was interest. The
Yep.
second E was engage. The second I was invite, which is you inviting them just something for free. It could be your lead magnet. Now the O is the offer. Now this is where you are going to offer them, and ideally you would want to see if they are ready to invest some money. And usually these are good to test your low ticket offers. So you can offer like it could be a call that you are offering to solve something, a consultation on that, or it could be a short course that you are offering, or invitation come offer to your challenge, and if you are charging for it. So that's where you introduce your offer. So using this EIEIO approach, you can actually use to take your whole audience towards making them warm about the topic and what you do, and you can use that. Now, if you are using email marketing, you can use it over the period of 10 days. If you're using social media, you can use it again. I think I can see the cat again.
Yes,
Do
you
you see
went
the
back
cat
to the
again?
cat. Yep, you went back to the cat. There. So was that all the information on the eIEIO?
Yes, yes. Let me.
Okay. So do
I don't know.
you
It's a Zoom problem. I don't know if Zoom is
uh
doing this.
I don't know. I don't I'm not having issues on my end, but so do you have any gifts for our viewers and listeners, Adeel?
Yes, I do. So I am offering a worksheet, which is a vision and goal clarity worksheet. And also, I mean, as bonus, you can have a worksheet on finding who you really are and your expertise.
Oh, you went to the cat again.
But I don't know what's wrong with this. This is the first time it's
There you go.
happening.
Oh, you were there just a second. It was something, it was some button that you hit. There you go.
No, I'm not even touching anything right
Uh,
now, but it's happening. I don't know
there you
why.
go. So
Yeah.
so how do people get your gift?
So I'll share a link to that, and we can share it.
Okay.
I think it's going to
Can
be
they
on the
go to your website and get it?
yeah they can, or if you want, I can share a link to the page where this is happening so that they
Okay,
can
yeah,
download
okay. You,
directly
you
from
you
there.
yeah, you will be able to do that definitely. But and
Yeah,
can you share your website verbally? Tell everybody where they can find you?
yeah. So it's easily.com. So it's eazili.com. That's the website. And but I'm very actively I'm using Facebook as a social media platform, so you can find me there as well. So it's facebook.com/ADEEL so you can find me there as well.
Okay, we went to the cat again, but you will be able to put all of that when we stream, you will be able to put all that information in the chat information there.
Yes,
So
definitely,
for
definitely.
anyone who'd like to find out more about me, if you go to patriciajogrover.com, and if you'd like to, I have gifts for the viewers and listeners. If you text the word goal, GOAL, to 26786, you'll have stuff come right to your inbox. So I want to take this moment and thank our sponsors, 133 Approved Funding. Again, they say yes when the bank says no, and they do work globally. So if you want to have more information, feel free to reach out to me. And I have a little video that will play. And thank you for being with me, Adeel. And you are going to be one of the speakers in the social dimension of life on the Rise Above Summit, which is fabulous because people need to get these tips, and making connections and building those relationships is huge. So
I'm really
thank you.
looking forward to that.
Thank you for being with me again.